Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Homage to our teacher, most venerable, Pinvat Lokuswan Mahanse. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, when we live in this world, we are experiencing one thing. All the time we are experiencing one thing. What is that? That is the impermanence we experience. We do the things and we think and we always change in all those things. Right? Whatever we hear the things, those things will be impermanent. So when people build their houses, how long we can keep those houses? Maybe 75 years, 100 years maximum, maybe 150 years. And after that, those buildings will be older, then you have to rebuild them. So things became impermanent, right? So now today we are going to learn that Buddha's very special teaching in Anguttara Nikaya, numerical discourses. That time actually our teacher, Supreme Buddha, was actually living in Vesali in Ambapali's row. There the Blessed One addressed the bhikkhus, saying bhikkhus. So you know who is Ambapali. She was a prostitute. After that, she had a present mind of on the Buddha. She listened through Dhamma, and after that she became bhikkhuni, and she became enlightened bhikkhuni, arahant bhikkhuni. So why she became all these things? That's also a previous bad karma. Right? One of the Buddha's dispensation, she was a nun, and she cleaned under the Bodhi tree. And after her cleaning was over, then one of the bhikkhuni, arahant bhikkhuni came to that place, and she coughed, and because of that cough, some flames dropped on the floor. She got angry. So Ambapali that time, she got angry. She used the bad word, saying that you are a prostitute. So as a result of that, she used that word to Arahant Bhikkhuni. She was born into hell after experiencing all these bad karma. She was born into human world. So all the time she was a prostitute. But even the last existence, Buddha's time, she was born without any mother and father. What we call for that one? Spontaneous birth. And then one of the kings saw that the one of the baby, and he looked after him and he adopted as a child. So after that, she was very beautiful, but people were fighting for her. Then she was named as a prostitute, and people go there and pay money and used her. So however, she became a disciple of the Buddha. She listened to the Dhamma, and after that she became a nun, and she offered this one, Ambapali's role. And that time, Supreme Buddha explained this Dhamma, this sutta. It is in Anguttara Nikaya. So it is called Sattasūriyasutta Sutta, right? It is in Anguttara Nikaya, book number 7, 66 Sutta. The Buddha explained that Anicca bhikkhave sankhara, Adduha bhikkhave sankhara, Anassasika bhikkhave sankhara, Yavanchidam bhikkhave, Alameva sabba sankharesu, Nibbinditum, Alang virajjitum, Alang vimucchitum. The meaning of that one, because conditioned phenomena are impermanent. Conditioned phenomena are unstable. The conditioned phenomena are unreliable. It is enough to become disenchanted with all conditioned phenomena. Enough to become dispassionate toward them. And enough to be liberated from them. Right? So that's the meaning. So everything is reason and cause is changing. So those are impermanent. So Buddha explained at time. Okay, now there comes a time, right? So because when rain does not fall for many years, for many hundreds of years, many thousands of years, for many hundreds of thousands of years, what will happen is rain is not there. It's not only 1 day or 2 days or 1 month, 1 year. So many hundreds of years, for many thousands of years. Okay, that time only one sun. So what will happen when rain does not fall? Seed life and vegetation, medicinal plants, grasses and giant trees of the forest wither and dry up and no longer exist. That will happen. So because there's no rain for 100 and 1,000 years. After a long time, there comes a time when a second sun appears. What will happen? One sun is sinking, other sun is rising. Now, when it happens, people are living without water, right? Because they are lack of water, and because they don't have grass and all the medicinal plants. And then what happens? Second sun appears. With the appearance of the second sun, the small river and lakes dry up and evaporate and no longer exist. Small rivers, like creeks, right? So you cannot find the small rivers and lakes. Okay, so maybe Lake Simcoe will dry out. The Buddha explained that all these phenomena is impermanent, right? Conditioned phenomena are impermanent. Conditioned phenomena are unstable. Conditioned phenomena are unreliable. So Buddha explained it is enough to become disenchanted with all conditioned things, conditioned phenomena, enough to become dispassionate towards them, enough to liberate from them. And also, in addition to this one, Buddha explained, Bhikkhu, there is a mountain called Mount Sineru. Mount Sineru we cannot see from our naked eye. It is 84,000 yojanas in length. So 1 yojana is equal to, in today's calculation, like 10 kilometers. Then 840,000 kilometers long, and also width 84,000 yojanas. Then 840,000 yojanas width. And underwater, it is submerged 84,000 yojanas. That means it is under the Great Ocean, 840,000 kilometers under the ocean. And above, again, 84,000 yojanas, 840,000 kilometers above the sea level. So this is in the northern part of India, but it is not visible to naked eye. Okay, and Buddha explained that in the sutta, the second sun appeared. What happened? Small rivers and lakes dry up and evaporate and no longer exist. So then after that, there comes a time when after a long time, a third sun appears. Okay. So what will happen that one sun is sinking, other sun is rising, and one sun is the top of the earth, right? What will happen with the appearance of third sun? The great rivers. There are great rivers in this world, in Indian, the river Ganges, the Yamuna, the Chiravati, Sarabu, and Mahi. All these great rivers dry up and evaporate and no longer there. Okay? So then at that time, no longer exist all these great rivers. You cannot find the great rivers in this world. So Buddha explained, this is impermanent. Conditioned phenomena are impermanent. We have to liberate from them. Then after that, after a long time, there comes time, after a long time, a fourth sun appears. So what will happen that one sun is sinking, other sun is rising. The two suns are in the sky. With the appearance of the fourth sun, the great lakes from which those great rivers originate. So there's a river called, lake called Untitled. It is in Himalayas. And all these Sihapata, Rattakara, Kannamunda, Kunala, Chandanta, and Mundakini. All these great rivers disappeared. That time, what will happen to our Lake Superior, Ontario Lake? They will disappear as well. Okay. So therefore, Buddha explained, and it is enough to be liberated because that all these impermanent are conditioned phenomena. Explained. Now, after some time, there comes a time when after a long time, a fifth sun appears. So you know that one sun is sinking and the sun is rising. In the sky, there are three suns. Right. So what will happen after these also appearing for five suns in the sky? With the appearance of the fifth sun, the waters in the great ocean sink by 100 yojanas. 100 yojanas means 1,000 kilometers. Then 200 yojanas, 300 yojanas, 700 yojanas. Then after that, water left in the great ocean stands at the height of 7 palm trees, at the height of 6 palm trees, 5 palm trees, 4 palm trees, 3 palm trees, 2 palm trees, and mere palm tree. So with the water level is slowly reducing. And then after that, the water left in the great ocean stands at the height of 7 fathoms. You know, 7 people, they are one above the other. So like 7 fathom, then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and a fathom, and half fathom up to the waist. So water will, all these water will reduce up to the waist, up to the knees, and up to the ankles. Slowly, those things will, the water in the great oceans will be reducing. Now, how many suns? 5 suns. The Buddha gave that some simile, just as in the autumn, when thick drops of rain are pouring down, water stand in the hoof front of a cattle here and there. So the water left in the great ocean will stand here and there in pools the size of the hoof prints of cattle. With the appearance of the fifth sun, the water left in the great ocean is not enough even to reach the joint of one's fingers. So very small amount of water, so impermanent are conditioned phenomena. Okay, is that the end of that one? After a long time, there comes a time, after a long time, a sixth sun appears. So what will happen is one sun is sinking, another sun is rising. In the sky, there are 4 suns. Okay, altogether 6 suns. It doesn't happen right away, that it will take longer time. Okay, let's explain. What will happen after 6th sun? Okay, after 6th sun, this is what will happen. With the appearance of the 6th sun, this great earth and scenario, we discussed that scenario, right? How much is the height of the scenario? 84,000 yojana or 840,000 kilometers. The king of mountains, it's called king of mountains. Smoke, fume, and smolder, just as the potter's fire. When kindled first smokes, fumes, and smolders, so with the appearance of the 6th sun, this great earth and scenario, the king of mountains, smoke, fume, and smolder. Right? So there will be a huge smoke in this earth. Okay, with the appearance of the 6th sun, and also okay, in the smoke, even in the great mountain scenario, Mount Scenario, 840,000 high. Now, is that the end? No, it is not the end. After that, there comes a time, after a long time, a 7th sun appears. So this is the way. One sun is rising, other one is sunset. In the sky, there are 5 suns. Okay. So what will happen after this one? With the appearance of the 7th sun, this great earth and scenario, the king of mountains bursts into flames, blaze up brightly and become one mass of flame. As a great earth and scenario are blazing and burning, the flame cast up by the wind rises up to the Brahma world. So that means that all these world system will destroy. All these hell, animal world, ghost world, astral world, human world, all the heavenly worlds, 6 heavenly worlds, and all the Brahma worlds up to Abhasra Brahma world. Abhasra Brahma world will remain, right? So from Abhasra Brahma world to up to that, all these Brahma world will remain. All these Brahma world will be destroyed by this fire, right? And so after that, right, what happened to all these beings? All these beings, most of the beings will be born into Abhasara Brahma world. But there are some beings, those who are in hell, what will happen to them? They will be born in the other planetary system, hell in the other planetary systems. Because one time we discussed about the multiplied that planetary systems, right? 1,000 world systems and 2 to the power 1,000 middle world system, 1,000 to the power 3 great world systems. So those beings will be born into that world systems. All these things will be impermanent. So this condition that Buddha explained, all these conditioned things are impermanent, right? So what will happen? All the houses and all those things, we think that only 100 years, but all entire earth will be destroyed. So this is what will happen when this great earth and scenario, the king of mountains, are blazing and burning. Neither ashes nor soot are seen, just as when ghee or oil are blazing and burning, neither ashes nor soot are seen. Right? So it is when this great earth and scenario, the king of mountains, are blazing and burning. You cannot even find very dark. all the beings will be born into Abhasara world. Buddha explained all these things are impermanent, right? All the conditioned things are impermanent. All right, so after that, Buddha explaining here, in the past, Buddha explained because there was a teacher named Sunetta, and he was a founder of a spiritual sect. He was teaching, and he was without lust and sensual pleasure. His name, that teacher Sunetta, had many hundreds of disciples. Right, he taught the Dhamma for companionships with the Brahma world, to be born into Brahma world. He was teaching loving kindness, compassionate, and equanimity, appreciative joy meditation for Brahma Viharis meditation. So when he was teaching, those who understood this teaching completely, and what happened after they are dead, they were reborn in the Brahma world. Okay, so but those who did not understand his teaching completely, some were reborn in companionship with the Devas, who control with the created by others, the last Deva world. Okay, so what are the worlds that Chatu Maharajika Chatavatinsa Yama Tusita Nimmanrati Paranimita Vasavati. This is the world they will be born. Nimmana Paranimita Vasavati. Right, so reborn in companionship with the Devas who control with the created by others. Nimmanrati. And some in companionship with Devas who delighted in creation. Nimmanrati. This is Nimmanrati, this is Paranimita Vasavati, the previous one. Some in companionship with the Tusita Devas, some in companionship with the Yama Devas, some in companionship with the Tavatinsa Devas, some in companionship with the Devas ruled by 4 great kings. Right? So his teaching, somebody who understood really well, somebody practiced really well, they will be born into Brahma world. Someone who did not practice really well, they will be born into all these Deva world. It's a long time ago that Buddha explained about some teacher. Okay, so and sometimes the people did not follow really well. They were reborn into affluent courtiers, means that all the king's families, the companionship with the king's families. Some were born into Brahmin families. Some were some in companionship with the affluent householders, the rich families, right? So those who are following teacher Sunetta's teaching, what he was teaching, 4 Brahma Viharis, right? Loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, equanimity. Then after that, teacher Sunetta, he taught, it isn't fitting that I should have exactly the same future destination as my disciples. He thought my disciples were born into Brahma world, and some were born into heavenly world, some were born into rich families in human world, right? Or king's families, Brahmin families, or rich families. So after thinking, because I can, my future destination shouldn't be like them, my disciples. So he thought, and by thinking that, he developed loving kindness meditation further. Then for 7 years, the teacher Sunetta developed a mind of loving kindness. He developed loving kindness meditation, right? As a result of that loving kindness meditation, for 7 eons of world dissolution, right? When the world is destroying and evolution and forming again, and he did not come back to this world. He was not reborn into this human world. Right? How many eons? 7 eons. When the world was dissolving, he moved on to the realm of the stream radiance, Abhasra Brahma world. So all these other Brahma worlds will be destroyed, right? So then that time he was born into Abhasra Brahma world. When the world was evolving, forming again, he was reborn in the empty mansion of Brahma. So he was born into Brahma world, again the lower Brahma world. So before that Abhasra Brahma world, there are the 5 Brahma worlds, right? Brahma Parisajja, Brahma Purohita, Mahabrahma, Parittaba, Pumana. Okay, so he will be born over there. Then there he was Brahma, the great Brahma, the vanquisher, the unvanquished, the universal seer, the wield of mastery. Then he became very powerful Brahma in that world, that Brahma world. And he was Sakka, ruler of Devas. Right? You know that Tavatin's heaven, there is a ruler, his name is Sakka. He is controlling 2 heavenly world. Right? First heavenly world, Chatu Maharajika and Tavatinsa. And he became 36 times King Sakka. And he became many hundred of times, he was wheel turning monarch. So one time period, actually there is a king and he is controlling entire world. So he was born by practicing how many times he practiced, how many years he practiced loving kindness meditation? 7 years he practiced loving kindness meditation. After practicing loving kindness meditation 7 years, he was experiencing these things, right? And he became many hundred of times. He was a wheel-turning monarch, a righteous king who ruled by Dhamma. A conqueror whose rule extended to the 4 boundaries. And he's the king for entire world and who had attained stability in his country, who possessed the 7 gems. Because this wheel-turning monarch, or this King Sakriti, he had 7 gems. And he has that wheel gem, and he has jewel. A wheel gem will go to all the one country to another country, or all the kings in those countries, they will, without any war, they will give the leadership to that king. Right? He has a gem, and anytime when it comes out, so it is same like the sun, like the sun, like sun. And he had that the wife queen, and very beautiful queen, and her body, that cold days, he has a warm body, and warm time, very cold body. And he has a great householder, and he has son, and also he has 2 horse, 1 horse and 1 elephant. Anytime he can go around the world. This is called 7 gems for King Sakriti. He had over 1,000 sons who were heroes, vigorous, able to crush the armies of their enemies. Now he has 1,000 sons. He reigned after he had conquered this earth as far as its ocean boundaries, not by force and weapons, but by Dhamma. When he goes to some place, they will give that, they agree to give that, and consider him as the king. Then he advised, okay, you can look after this area, but you have to look after with the Dhamma, the following 10 wholesome things. Okay. And Buddha explained, or somebody can read this one.
Okay, Bante, I can read.
Okay, yes.
Because though he had such a long lifespan and continued on for such a long time, the teacher Suneta was still not freed from birth, from old age and death, from sorrow, lamentation, pain, dejection, and anguish. He was not freed from suffering, I say. For what reason? Because he did not understand and penetrate 4 things: And what for? Noble virtuous behavior, noble concentration, noble wisdom, and noble liberation.
So that teacher Sunitha, even though he taught to be born again, right? So, and he did not teach to escape from be born again and again. So he did not understand, he did not teach noble virtues, Sila, Samadhi, Prajna, and Vimukti. So noble virtuous behavior, noble concentration, noble wisdom, and noble liberation. And he did not teach them, right? Then after that, Buddha explained, noble virtuous behavior because has been understood and penetrated. Noble concentration has been understood and penetrated. Noble wisdom has been understood and penetrated. Noble liberation has been understood and penetrated. Craving for existence has been cut off. Why we are existing? Because the craving, right? So how we came all this long journey of samsara, hindered by ignorance and fettered by craving. Okay, craving for existence has been cut off. The conduit to existence has been destroyed. Now there's no more renewed existence because there's no there are no reason to exist. This is what the Blessed One said. Having said this, the fortunate one, the teacher, further said this. So then, that time, who was Sunetta? The teacher Sunetta? That was the Bodhisattva. So Bodhisattva was the teacher Sunetta, and he was teaching all these 4 Brahmaviharis meditation to practice. And as a Buddha, Buddha explained that that time, the teacher, he did not understand. He was not freed from suffering, right? He did not understand this noble virtuous behavior, noble concentration, noble wisdom, and noble liberation, right? So then Buddha explained further the virtuous behavior, concentration, wisdom, and unsurpassed liberation. These things the illustrious Gautama understood by himself. So Buddha understood all these 4 things, and having directly known these things, the Buddha taught the Dhamma to the bhikkhus, the teacher, the end maker of suffering, the one with vision has attained Nibbana. Buddha is explaining us. So now, earlier Buddha explained to us, all the conditioned phenomena are impermanent. So we are holding all these things, I am, mine, myself, but what will happen, Buddha explained, all these world will destroy. And when we cannot even find any suit, right? So everything will be destroyed. So this is the system. This is the world we are living. In this world that Buddha explained, conditioned phenomena are impermanent. Conditioned phenomena are unstable. Conditioned phenomena are reliable. It is enough to become disenchanted with all conditioned phenomena, enough to become dispassionate towards them, enough to be liberated from them.